This is Kelso Sturgeon. Thank you very much for joining me for another session of Handicapping 101. Today the focus will be primarily on college football for tonight and for the weekend. But before we get into that, I'd like to deliver some good news. I am on quite a run in basketball and football. In the last 4 days, 22-5 with all my selections. Last Sunday, 6-1, I beg your pardon, last Sunday and Monday, 6-1 in the NFL. I'm a perfect 12-0 with my last 12 basketball selections. I'm a perfect 7-0 with my 50-unit Saturday night specials, and 8-2 in my 50-unit NFL games of the week. I'm on a run. If you haven't been with me this season, get on board. You can buy all my games individually by the day. You can get them in packages at a prorated rate, and the price is always right, and I take all major credit cards. For instance, you can sign up for the entire basketball season for just $249, getting all my Best Bet Club plays in both college and NBA basketball. That's an average of 2 to 3 selections every day, 7 days a week. Once again, the whole package, $249 charged to your major credit card. Now let's talk a little bit about college football this weekend. You know, I'm kicking off my my big games in football tonight with a 50-unit play on the Boise State, Fresno State game. It's my Western Athletic Conference game of the year. Maybe this is an unusual spot to take a stand with the number being what it is, but I think the time is right to make a major score. Boise is a 30.5 point favorite with a total of 66.5 points against Fresno. Now Fresno comes into the game 6-3. Boise State a perfect 9-0 and trying to get to the BCS championship game. But you know, even though the number is high, I'd like to remind you this is a tremendous rivalry game, and these teams do not like one another one little bit, and they will fire their best shots. You know, it's an interesting thing. As I like to share some of these off-the-wall facts with you. If you wanted to take a money line bet tonight as insurance on Boise State, you will only have to bet $6,000 to win 100. Think about that, $6,000 to win 100, but you know, pretty good chance you'll get it. No, I'm not advising that you or anybody else does that. But this is a great rivalry game. It's not as simple as it looks. It's going to be decided by 2 factors. I know what they are. I'm going to get the money regardless of what the line is. Be sure you don't miss this game. It'll be available on this site or toll-free at 1-800-755-2255. Don't miss it. Start your weekend off big with the 50-unit WAC Game of the Year. I will win it. Also on tonight, I'm releasing my NBA Game of the Week, 25-unit play. Intend to get the cash there too. Now let's talk about college football a little bit, somewhat in the same manner that we did last week. You know, we're at a point at the college football season where teams are incentive driven. But you've got to remember one thing. You know, when you handicap a game, whether it be football, basketball, or whatever, you can lay 3 elements on the table that you need to consider, or in some college football games, I use 47 different elements to handicap a game. That means that I don't use just one, and I want to caution you that, because once again we're going to discuss incentive-driven football. That is teams that have a real reason to get the money and have an edge. Now as you handicap the college football card, look for teams that are incentive-driven and are going to make an extra effort to get the job done. They all won't be successful, but most of them will. Here's a list of what I consider an incentive-driven team. Teams that are playing for conference championships have extra incentive to play well, and they usually show up and do just that. Teams that are in the running for the BCS championship game, they're going to fire their best shot, period, no questions asked. At the same time, you know, a BCS bowl bid gets a school $12 million. So any team that has the opportunity to close the deal and earn a trip to one of these BCS bowl games besides the championship game, will fire their best shot. $12 million is on the line, and you can bet coaches, teams, whatever, will come to play in those games. That might be the biggest incentive at all, especially for coaches. Teams that are trying to get bowl eligible, you have to have 6 wins to go to a bowl game. If a team is trying to get bowl eligible, only has the 5 wins, then that team is going to have an edge over whoever they play. Once again, doesn't mean they all win or they all cover. I'm just saying these are incentive-driven teams that do have edges. Okay, this is a kind of an unusual spot, but I think that it's important to mention. A college football team playing its last home game always has an edge, period. It's senior night, and the seniors are being honored, and home teams fire their best shot. They want to leave all those memories as pleasant memories, and they fire their best shot to win their last home game every season. Now, these are incentive-driven teams, and once again, I just want to say to you that these teams will try their best to win. They will fire their best shots. Most will get the job done. It becomes a question of whether they cover, but not all of them will. You know, that's just one element to consider when handicapping college football, but it's extremely important right now. Now, I thought I'd share with you a college football winner for Saturday. You know, I studied the Wisconsin at Michigan game for about an hour today, and I still can't figure out why Wisconsin is only a 5-point favorite. I couldn't find a single reason to bet on Michigan, I'm being honest with you. Yes, they're at home, and that is somewhat of an edge, but it doesn't overcome all the edges that Wisconsin has. So my free winner for this week will be Wisconsin laying the 5 at Michigan, and I intend to get the money. I intend to get the money in all my games this weekend. They'll all be available on this website and toll-free at 1-800-755-2255, all major credit cards accepted.